We're alive. This is not where I usually have this. Let me fix my camera. Hold on. All right, I think this will be good. Day Wonu. I did live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Let me mute this over here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and begin once we get 15 people in here. Once we get 15 people in here, I'm going to go ahead and go live. Or not go live and explain how the all fall is your magic. The main thing I'm going to focus on for this discussion is going to be a particular ilu. And this ilu says that the worm uses its all fall to dig in the earth. The worm uses its offal to dig in the earth. Right now, we had one person in, and that one person hit like. We got two people in, we got one like. So we got three people in now, one like. If you're in the room, hit like. Shout out to whoever did it first. If you're in the chat, let me know where you're at. Bless up, bro. Bless up. Bless up. One day. I've been drinking a little bit, so this one's going to get. We'll see where we go with this one. We'll see where we go with this one. By the way, I'm experimenting with this new time. We have, as far as Kedu goes, I have an Igbo language school called Kedu.me. And we have a class that ends at 9 exactly. And because it ends at 9 exactly, it's hard for me to go live. But if we can do it at this time, then it'll work for me. I want to see if it works for y'all or if you guys like the old time. If you like the old time, I'll consider doing the old time, but on Saturday or something like that. So if this time works for y'all, I'm in. We got 4 people in and 3 like. Man, if you don't hit that damn like, whoever came in, hit like. There we go. There we go. There we go. You said, all right, cool. Today we're going to be talking about the Ofo and the idea of magic. We're going to be talking about magic and the Ofo, but I specifically want you guys to focus on an ilu that says the worm uses its Ofo to dig in the earth. The worm uses its Ofo to dig in the earth. From Hampton, Virginia, he said there is so much Igbo ancestral history in Virginia. I have people in the Virginia area who reach out to me and say they are firmly convinced, and they have the historical evidence, everything there, to tell me that a lot of the people in Virginia, their ancestors are Igbo. Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Maryland, that whole area. Specifically, if your soil is red, if the soil in the place you live, when you dig it, it's red, then you might be dealing with those people. And then, well, we got 7 people in here and we only got 5 likes. Whoever just came in, if you don't hit that damn like, if you don't hit that damn like so we can get this thing going, I'm just playing. Let's see if we can get whoever came in who has not hit like, hit like. There's one person that has not hit like. If you have not hit the like button, go ahead and hit that like button. I'm very happy to have you guys in here, but we got to make them things match. We got 7 people in here and 5 likes. We got 2 people who need to hit the like button. Once we get to 15 people, I'll go ahead and discuss about the concept of the Ofo and how it is your personal magic. On top of the Ofo being your personal magic, I'm going to be discussing or opening it for a Q&A. So if you guys have questions or anything you want to ask me, go ahead. This would be the exact place to do it. Let me go ahead and can't talk. Let me go ahead and paste on Patreon that I am here. Shout out to the Patreon. Ndieze. You know, our patrons are dignitaries, so you can't just address them by name. You got to call them Ndieze. Let's see if this works. No, that doesn't work. Once we get to 15 people, once ụtụtụ ọma nwanne, kedu ka ide Ibolachi. Once we get to, we ain't gonna do it like that, so we're gonna do it like this. Post link. We are live. Topic is the Ofo and your magic. Your Ofo. I don't know why I titled this is your magic. There we go. Ndewo, if you're up, join us. We are live. I'm going to begin the discussion once we get to 15 people in this room. 15 people in this room, and I'm going to begin the discussion. I'll even go to Instagram. Oh, no, I can't go to Instagram because they don't allow laptops. We have 9 people in here and 8 likes. If we can get 1 like on that 9 person, 10 people in here and 8 likes. So 2 people are looking at the like button and they're not clicking it for some reason. And I don't understand it. I don't know what I did to y'all. I don't know what the problem is. But if you can go ahead and click the like button, I would greatly appreciate that. It helps the channel a lot. If you want to contribute to the channel, that is the easiest way to contribute, is hitting the like button. We got 9 and 8. So all of my talking is not budging whoever is holding on to their like. And that's fine. We're going to get 15 people in here and the rest of them are going to hit the like, and then we're going to begin. We will begin once we get 15 people. Today's topic is going to be the Ofo and magic. There is an ilu that says Ofo kansi, which is the Ofo is greater than nsi. We're going to discuss those 2 things today. So if you don't know what those things mean, we'll talk about them, but it's very, very, very important to understand. And from that, you'll kind of understand why Odinani people are not afraid of the supernatural, right? They're not afraid of anybody burying something in their backyard against them. They're not afraid of magic. They're not afraid of happenstance. I'm trying to think of how that phrase is. Happenstance. They're not afraid of coincidence. They're not afraid of anything. They fear. Awesome. Doing great. He say Idu is our identity. Oh yeah, and why Idu? Nwa Chineke. I think I'm wearing Nwa Chineke in our chat. And thank you very much. I'm very happy to have you in the chat. We are almost there. Once we are 3 people away. So if you can share this on Twitter, which I think they're about to I think they're about to shut down Twitter, but once if you can share this on Twitter, share this on Instagram, share this on Facebook, we are literally 3 people away. We got 12 people in here and only 10 have hit like. The 2 of you who are holding on to the like button, go ahead and hit that like. It would do wonders for this channel, right? Ndewonu. Idu is our identity. I like that name. Go ahead and hit the chat or hit the like. I'm looking at the chat right now. This is also going to be a Q&A, so if you got questions, ask the questions. I'll be here until you guys run out of questions. Once you're out of questions, I'll bounce. I'm experimenting with this new time. This is later than I usually go live. I've had a lot of things on my schedule in the past few months, right? Like it hit me like a tsunami. And right now I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm overcoming those situations and I'm able to balance and abide by the schedule and that kind of thing. But I may need to push the lives back to this time. All right, we're at 12:12. Wonderful. So everybody in here has hit like, I believe. So that's good. Odemma. So I'm experimenting with this new time. You guys are gonna have to let me know if this time works for you, if it's too late. It works very good for me. So if we can do this time, then we can return to our regular Friday lives where we discuss different topics and do a Q&A. Those of you who are new, my name is Derek Ofadarungwa. I discuss Odinani Igbo, which is our ancestral cosmology, spirituality, philosophy, everything you want to fit in science, everything you want to fit in that the scope of thought. If you want to support the channel, the best way to support is on Patreon at patreon.com/The Medicine Shell. I'm going to type it here, patreon.com/The Medicine Shell. We are at 10:11, right? There's the best way to support. Patrons have access to my full in-house library. So this is the library that I use to research and learn a lot of the things that I know. It is all divided in folders based off of topics. So if you're interested in Amadioha, Ubanje, our ancestral sciences, Dimiri, like spirit wives, spirit husbands, those different things. They're all divided into different folders. So it's very organized and easy to follow. There's over 300 documents in there. So by the time you walk out, you'll be an expert in the things that I talk about, which is Igbo spirituality, cosmology, and science. You also have access to the full Odinani calendar. So the calendar will tell you what it'll link with your Google Calendar, and it'll tell you what market day we're on. Eke, Uri, Afo, and Nkwo. It'll also tell you what moon. Onwa Ajana is coming soon. Onwa Ajana is coming very soon, which literally translates to the moon of the sands of the earth. But there's a lot more to it. So I may go live on that day to kind of explain that moon. I have done a full explanation of each moon in live. I'll be making videos, formal videos for them as well. So if that's what you're interested in, that'd be good. Glad to be. Oh, glad to be live for the first time. Idu is our identity. Nwanne, Kedu, Odemma, Dalo, Odemma. We are waiting. Once we get to 15, I'm going to go ahead and begin the discussion. If you know anybody who's interested in these topics, go ahead and send them the link. Send it on Facebook Messenger, post it on Facebook, post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram. Get the folk in here. Get the folks in here. Get the folks in here. So awesome. You do one day. I'll be making a video on the topic of Idu, because there's a lot to be said there, as you probably know. There's a lot to be said there. Very interesting topic, and of course, very pivotal to not just our history as a people, but human history. So I'm going to be doing that in there as well. And there, we are waiting till we get to 15 people. Once we get to 15 people in the chat, we will go ahead and begin. We're at 13. Uchechi in the building. Hey, one day, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, bro. Where have you been? Uchechi, where have you been? I think your schedule probably changed or something. Let's wait for Uchechi's answer. Uchechi is a veteran and Onyeze, right? As far as the medicine shell goes. Yes, it did. He said we have hit 15 people. We have hit 15 people. We have hit 15 people. I'm repeating myself like Umar Johnson. Greetings from Chidi. Chidi, nwanne kedu ka ide? Oya ka anyị bido ka m gwa ọjị. Uchechi, you're welcome. He said, ọ dị mma. Ha, okike kere ụwa. Okike na-enye ndụ. Okike na-enye ihe ọma. Alawa ala. Ala bụ nne mmadụ na nne mmụọ. Ala na-enye ndụ. Ala na-enye ihe ọma. Ọjị abịala. Ọjị m ji n'aka bụ ọjị anyị ji ama onwe anyị. Mana ebe ọbụla mmadụ pụtara ọjị, ọ pụtara ndụ. Ọjị bụ nke ndị ichie anyị ji ama onwe ha, mana nke anyị ji ama onwe anyị. Mana ọjị m ji n'aka ọjị nke bụ ọjị ndụ. Ọjị m ji n'aka bụ ọjị udo. Ọjị m ji n'aka bụ ọjị ike Chineke na ike ụwa ka anyị ji aga na ije okike kere ka anyị gaa n'ụwa. Ọjị nke si na anyị bụ otu obi, otu uche, otu mmụọ na otu ndụ na ụwa. Ọ ga-adị nnọọ na eke na orie na afọ na nkwọ. Ise. Yeah, all right, take it, receive him. All right, he said, it's a good day. I'm watching the medicine shell. I have July. How did you... Uchechi, did you learn how to cook jollof? Hey, man, there's some people cooking some fraudulent jollof on TikTok. He said, there's some people cooking some fraudulent jollof on TikTok. I hope you didn't learn from them. I've been seeing some abominations of jollof. Carol, ndewo, my man, ndewo, Carol. Very nice seeing you. All right, I'm about to begin. Uchechi, I hope you learned to cook the proper jollof. Oh, not the Apricot jollof. No, my aunt brought it. Okay, he said, all them, all them, all them. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, cambido, cambido. So, what I came here to discuss today was the idea of the Ofo. And there's a particular ilu that says, and I'm going to say it in English, Chimoge, Chimoge's comments in the house. The legendary Chimoge's comments. Yeah, I just saw your comments on Nas not being irrelevant. Nas is not irrelevant, man. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. Nas is not irrelevant. So shout out to Chimoge. All right, so what I wanted to discuss today was the awful, the idea of the awful, and the awful being your magic, right? We're gonna talk about the term magic. We're gonna talk about the awful. There's an ilu, and I want to get you guys' interpretation of this. And the ilu says, and I'll say it in English, the worm uses his awful to dig in the earth. The worm uses his awful to dig through the earth. Type your interpretation of this particular ilu. And ilu is a wise saying. So it can be a proverb, it can just be a random sentence, whatever. Something that our ancestors codified to give us wisdom. He said, thanks, bro. Awesome. And they will carol our times or our career is shit. What do you think the ilu means? The worm uses his offal to dig through the earth. The worm uses his offal to dig through the earth. That is the ilu that we are trying to interpret at the moment. If you guys know the meaning of it, type it here. I'm waiting for some meanings. Nobody's saying anything. As always, and I say this a lot, but there's no wrong interpretation of ilu. The idea of thinking of ilu and trying to interpret it allows wisdom to come from inside of you and be shared with the rest of us. So you may pick something up, or something may be pulled from you that isn't pulled from me, and something else is pulled from me, and all these different things will give a 360. When they're all put together, will give a 360 on what the ilu means. So the more we discuss these ilu and interpret them, the more wisdom comes about. So the ilu was the worm uses his offal to dig through the earth. All right, so the rude mechanical says all fall of the worm's existence gives it the ability to do what it was built to do, which is dig. He said, rude mechanicals, that was dope. I love that. Use your talents and authority to do what you're meant to do. Adema was a very good interpretation. Chimoge says, use your talents and authority to do what you are meant to do on earth. It is good. It is good. It is good. I want to see if there's any more interpretations of the ilu. The ilu is the worm uses its offal to dig through the earth. Now, one of the things you have to think about in this ilu is the worm doesn't have hands. The worm doesn't have a shovel. The worm doesn't have a visible mouth. If it does have a mouth, it's nothing impressive, right? It's nothing that it can use to dig the type of digging that a worm does. But somehow, some way, the worm moves through the earth from the bottom. It is able to dig through the earth seamlessly, right? Or to us, it seems seamless, right? The worm has a special ability to dig, though based on its design. It's not even hard. It's not sharp. The worm has no sharp edges. It has no hard edges. It has nothing that we would specifically connect with digging, though based on this ilu, the worm uses its offal to dig through the earth. Does anybody else have an interpretation of this? Use your powers and abilities to get through life the way you can. He said, I think my will 97. And that's it. I feel like that's the first time I'm seeing your name in here. So if you're new, you're very welcome. If you're new, you're very welcome. Wanted to see if we can get any more interpretations of this particular ilu. I know you guys have things. There's no wrong answer for this. There's no wrong answer. So if you have it, throw it. They don't even have hands. Exactly. They don't have hands. They don't have feet. They don't have tools. They don't have. I mean, I'm sure they have. I know they have a mouth, but it's not what you're going to use to dig through something. It's a very soft, very weak animal. It is an explicitly weak animal, but it can dig through nearly anything. It's an expert digger. It digs constantly. It exists to dig, and it uses its offal to dig through the earth. So what do you guys think that means? That the worm uses its offal to dig? Perhaps it could be the ability to manifest in us. Okay. and we use it ofo to achieve what we will. The power is in us. Empress Anne came with the banger. He said, that was a good one. That was a good one. Any more interpretations? I need more interpretations for this one. Again, there's no wrong answer to an ilu. It's whatever it pulls out of you. It's whatever it means to you is what it's supposed to be, right? Can you repeat the ilu? Okay, for sure. Adeze says, can you repeat the ilu? The ilu is the worm. I'm saying it in English. The worm uses its ofo to dig through the earth. The worm uses its ofo to dig through the earth. Chiloge said something funny. I'm trying to pull it up. The worm uses its ofo to dig through the earth. I wanted to get you guys' interpretations of this before I go on my spiel, on my discussion, or my talk, speech, whatever you want to call it, as far as what this particular ilu means. The worm uses its ofo to dig through. I'm going to be hearing myself speak. Mute. Is that mute? Okay, that's not right. There we go. All right, got it. All right, cool. All right, the worm uses its ofo to dig through the earth. Somebody says Ekwensu. I don't know if I'm being called Ekwensu or... But if you call me Ekwensu, I'll take it as a compliment. Florida boy JM says Ekwensu. But he could also be giving us a breakdown of the name Ekwensu, which is if you will it, it ignites. If you will it, it begins. If you will it, it happens. What is willed must be. What is God's will must be law. Ekwensu. What is God's will must begin. What is God's will ignites, happens, comes into fruition. That is the meaning of Ekwensu, right? So maybe that's what Florida boy is saying. Or maybe he's saying I'm Ekwensu, which a lot of Christians have connected to the devil, right? So what I just said as far as what the word Ekwensu means devil to somebody. That's their business. I'm not going to assume what Florida boy meant. Florida boy will have to tell me what he meant by that. Chidimma, he said, hey, Kedu, Chidimma. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a long time. I haven't gone live, like a proper live in a long time. The last one I did was a dedication to my friend, Ebo. Animal expert. Okay, as an animal expert, I can tell you that a worm does have a mouth, okay? But like you guessed, it's tiny. Yes, I assumed it had a mouth because how would it not have a mouth? But it definitely cannot be what it uses to dig, right? I don't even know how a worm digs, right? Other than my ancestors say, which is with its awful. I'll take that, right? I've been drinking, by the way, so this one's gonna get wild. Perhaps it could be the ability to make. Okay, we already read that one. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Look what the worm can do. He said, that's a good one. Thank you for that, Carol. Remember, my mom is afraid of worms. She could kill a grizzly. What a worm's a no-no. There's this woman, when we went back to the village, one of my earliest memories, like early, I had to have been like 4 years old remembering this. It was, or even 3, who knows. But we had a big batch of gummy worms that we took with us. Whenever we go to Nigeria, we always take a bunch of American candy. So we had a big batch of gummy worms. And there was this particular woman who was horrified, who was horrified of worms. And she thought the gummy worms were actually like dead worms from Obodo, right? And so I remember that was the big joke, was that she was afraid of the gummy worms. She was really disgusted that we were eating them, all right? My wife has a similar story when she was eating hot dogs. Her mom had brought hot dogs from America, and they told their cousins what it meant. And their cousins were just staring at them. And then years later, the cousins said, you know that one time you guys were eating hot dogs, we thought you were actually eating dog meat, right? So yeah, those things get lost in translation. But yeah, Chimoge, I have a relative that's very afraid of worms. R.I.P. to her. She had passed away though. What the worm uses to dig. Funny enough, I told a story about my brother having his leg healed. He broke his leg as a baby. Having his leg healed through traditional medicine. The uncle that I'm talking about, it is his other wife. So he had 2 wives. One was traditional, one was Christian. And this was his Christian wife that was afraid of the worms. So I think you guys have a connection to her, understanding of who she is. Uh, Name my clothing line Ekwensu after seeing your video. Oh, dope, dope. Came across Igbo channels because my aunt taught me about Yoruba. She always had Papa Legba on her front door. Oh, that's dope. Florida boy, that is dope, man. Post the link. I don't know if you got like a website or an IG, but you got a clothing line named Ekwensu. That is dope as hell. Post the link if you can to anything, so people can check it out, you know. I'm still waiting for more interpretations of the ilu. The worm uses its offal to dig through the earth. Chinema says, way to go. Aha, taoji, taoji, taoji. Aha. Ọ dị ka ị nwere aka ụba, aka ụba. Aka ụba is the hand of wealth. This means that you have an offal that is dedicated to receiving wealth. That no matter what happens in this world, if you become a millionaire and everybody takes it from you, right? Maybe because you shared the wrong link on Twitter. Maybe because you shared the wrong link on Twitter. Even if they take it from you, it'll come back in due time. It'll all come back. That by nature, where aka uba, that your hands, so long as you have these hands, you will be wealthy. So perhaps you have that. Anytime I see somebody that's entrepreneurial, I always think that's a possibility. And then, of course, calling your clothing line Ikwinsu is very powerful. It is a very, very, very strong name. So yeah, if you got a link, IG, anything like that, post the link. If it's not ready yet, come back on another live and post it. You're more than invited. Yeah, that's it. All right, so let me give you my interpretation of the ilu. The ilu is that the worm uses its offal to dig through. Okay, here we go. Cheka says uses its instinct, DNA memory of nature, innate power within the environment to make its way. Very powerful. Cheka connected it to the wider relationship it has with existence. That is dope. That is very dope. All right. So I want to give my interpretation, but I want to wait for more. I actually like you guys. I think you guys is more interesting than mine anyway. But yeah, but we'll see. All right. So my own interpretation of this particular ilu and the topic I came to discuss. There is another ilu that relates to it that says ofo kansi. Ofo kansi. Ofo is greater than nsi. And I'll explain what all that means towards later when I'm done talking. So yeah. So a lot of you guys understand what the ofo is. Brand new here. I'm just trying to keep up. Mason, welcome. So the ofo is how do I put it this way? Every single person is born or created by way of the ofo, right? And ofo is a pact or an agreement with creation. In our ancestral cosmology, all of us are the products of the process of reincarnation. When an individual passes, a part of themselves goes through the cycle of reincarnation. And the final phase in this cycle is entering creation itself, Eke Uwa, or as some people believe, Anna, right? Anna is the earth. Anna is the earth, also known as Allah, Ali, all these different names. So Allah, right? Allah is the earth, not Allah. I used to say Allah because of my accent, my Igbo tongue, but now that I've been to Kedu a few times, I know it's Allah, right? So Allah is the last thing you encounter in your reincarnation process. Who is Allah? Allah is the earth. She is the earth. The last thing you encounter in your reincarnation process is the earth. The earth is the reincarnation or first daughter of the divine feminine or the universe itself. Wa. Also known as Nechuku, right? So you encounter her and you make a pact. You and your chi will go to her and say, we are coming into this world to actualize XYZ reality, right? So sometimes I don't like to use the term purpose because purpose seems very action oriented. A lot of it is maybe I'm going to come and I'm going to be happy doing this, or I'm going to happy being this type of person, or happy being in this place, so on and so forth. Purpose is more so like linear objective, which is a part of it, right? And you tell the earth, I'm coming into the world to be this thing, right? This is what I am. And the earth says, if you're coming into the world to be this thing, here are my rules. These are the things that you do not do. These rules are known as Iwala, Iwala, the laws of the land or the laws of the earth, right? They differ from whatever land you reincarnate into, it differs, but some universal ones are prohibitions against incest, murder, and taking what does not belong to you. Incest, murder, and taking what does not belong to you. These are universals, right? And then there will be differences based on the land that you actually incarnate from. So wherever you are born, make sure you know the iwala of that land, right? You come into the world. So she says, these are my rules. If you're able to follow my rules, you will be able to be and actualize this thing that your chi says that you are, that you and your chi, you and your creator are telling me that you are, right? This agreement you guys make is your Ofo, is the Ofo. OFO is the beginning of my name, Ofo Derenwa, which means the Ofo is within the child. The Ofo is within this person. Ofo Derenwa, that's my name. Ofo Derenwa. The Ofo is within this person, right? So you are born with this Ofo, right? Some people will call it your Iuwa, so your universal stream. Some people will call it your Babando, your star. Right? Our ancestors believe that for every star in the sky, there's an individual born connected to that specific star. And when that person goes, the star goes with them. That is your papando, right? So the human, and also there's a grain of sand connected to every single person who has been born and will be born. Both the grains of sand and the star are both connected. That is your up, that is your high, I don't want to say high, low self, but that is yourself in the sky, that is yourself on earth. Right? There's a grain of sand, Ajana. The next moon coming up is Onwa Ajana. So there's a grain of sand and there's a star connected to you as an individual. And this pact, this all fault that you have made with creation, right? So what does that say? It says that whatever your chi says that you are, or whoever your chi says that you are, yes, as above, so below. Namdi, I'm live. I'm live. All right. So, whoever your chi says that you are, whatever your chi says that you are coming into the world to actualize, it will happen. So long as you follow your chi. Oh man, this is adorable. So long as you follow your chi, so long as you understand your chi, so long as you are in alignment with that agreement you made with the earth, which is your Ofo, you are saying that you are this person, right? I am this person. Once you start trying to be this other person, right? All of the endowments that come with your chi cannot be received by you, right? If you are you, you will receive what is for you. If you are aiming to be someone else, you are on your own, right? And the way the all fall works is so long as you have the all fall for that thing, it will happen so long as you pursue it. Udode, igenwe udo, so long as you pursue that particular thing. Ogun, 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 inwere ogun, right? You have a divine right to that thing. There are particular people that we are lucky to witness following their chi or being the person that they came into the world to be. And we look at these people, you'll almost think that they're supernatural. There's something supernatural about them. You'll think that their ability to do, maybe acquire and be is greater than the average person. But in reality, this is a normal person doing what they are supposed to do. The average person just tends to deny themselves of their nature and therefore cannot acquire that particular excellence that comes with following your Ofo, right? So the Ofo is that thing, that agreement you made with creation, right? And the Ofo is not something like, I'm just talking about reincarnation, all these things. You can think about it in a mystical way, right? But you could also think of the Ofo as the laws of science, right? It is because of Ofo that I know that if I hold this little thing up in the air, that it's going to drop. That is Ofo. That is law. Michael Jackson. There you go. Yeah, right? This is Ofo. If I put this in the air, it's going to drop. It's law. Ofo is another way to say truth and law. Truth, law, Ofo. If I put this water bottle in the air and I do this, it's going to fall. That is Ofo. Oh, Ofo. This is Ofo. It is a law of creation. So as it is a law of creation that this is going to drop, it is a law of creation that the worm will be able to dig every single time it wants to dig. It is a law of creation. It is a law of creation that the sun is hot, right? Now, your chi sends you into the world to actualize a particular reality, right? To be something specific in creation. There's something special about you as a person, something specific to you that only you have the Ofo to. Only you hold that Ofo, right? There's something, right? Whether you believe me or not, it doesn't matter. But what I'm telling you is there is something. So maybe you don't believe me now, but you'll believe me later. Don't worry about it, right? But there's something specific to you that is only for you in creation, right? And if you are in the space of that thing, it will happen. It will happen, right? It will happen. I'm so happy that Florida Boy brought up the word ekwensu, because that is what it's related to. Ekwensu, right? Ekwensu. Who is Ekwensu? Ekwensu is whenever Chukwu creates a law, Chukwu puts Ekwensu there to enforce that law and ensure that it's going to happen, right? Ekwensu, because if Chukwu says it will be day, it will be day. That is Ekwensu, right? So if Chukwu says you are going to be, I don't know, you're going to go platinum, you're going to go platinum, right? If Chukwu says you're going to win the NASCAR, blah, blah, blah. If Chukwu says you're going to have 5 kids, you're going to write the bestseller. You're going to, your clothing line is going to be worn across the world. If Chukwu says that thing, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because you have this thing called it Ofo. Anything your chi, let me leave Chukwu alone. Anything your chi tells you, it tells you by way of Ofo, Jiofo, Ekuya, right? It uses the Ofo to say that thing, right? So your chi tells you something, it is Ofo, it is law. It is law. It will happen, right? So all of those things you believe that you're going to manifest and make happen, and I can do this thing and I can do that thing, or it's my destiny to do, it's going to happen. It will happen so long as you just go ahead and go for it, right? So long as you just go ahead and go for it. Now, there are some things that you're going to go ahead and go for and it's not going to work, right? You don't have the Ofo for those things. You don't have the Ofo for those things, right? The worm, without its hands, without its mouth, without anything sharp or particularly strong about itself, can dig. It's not even acidic. Can dig through the earth. At least I don't think it's acidic. It can dig through the earth, right? The worm uses its Ofo to dig through the earth, that kind of thing. But oftentimes when these particular gifts, if the album is Drake's, it'll be made. Right? Oftentimes we use this Ofo, right? If you use this particular Ofo, we oftentimes credit it with different things. Oh, well, they were able to do this thing because blah, blah, blah. They were able to do the thing, blah, blah. Leave all that shit alone. Leave all that alone. They were able to do it because it was their Ofo, and we're Ofo. Eji Ofo no guaga, right? They're using their Ofo to do that specific thing. It is their Ofo to do that. It is law. Just like when I do this, yeah, right? We'll use Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan will play basketball well. That's just all it is. It's a law. It's a law. So there are some particular things that you have the Ofo to do, right? They call it aka, iji aka. like EG and Akara, like it's in your destiny, right? Not my next video, my video after the next is going to be on Akaraka, palm reading. And I'm going to go into this particular topic very in depth, right? But the you have particular things that are connected to you that you are able to do, right? And you are able to do that are connected to you. You are able to be, you are able akaraka, you are able to actualize, right? You have these things very specific to you, right? It says finally, it says yes, right? Those things. Do not neglect them. Do not neglect them. There's another ilu that I spoke about earlier that said Ofo and Chi. It's really interesting. It's similar to the Christian concept of Rema, God speaking to devotees directly by way of intuition. Maybe. What if your chi is to be successful, but all fault is otherwise? There's no such a thing as your chi is this and your all fault is that. Your all fault are the agreements your chi made with you and existence. Right? The Ofo are the agreements that your chi made with you and existence. The Chukwu and creation, Chineke, made this agreement that when objects of matter are in motion, they remain in motion until acted on by an equal or opposite force. That is something Chineke. That is Ofo. And from that foundation, reality is created. It is by way of all fall that we create the blocks of reality. So you as an individual were created with an all fall, and those all fall are perfectly in alignment with what your chi says will be. What Eke says will be. Right? So there's no such thing as your all fall says this and your chi says that. Your all fall is what your chi says. Those are the laws that make you. You are a book or body of specific laws. And these laws are the ones that no matter what happens, if you wish to actualize them, they will be actualized. Like it doesn't matter what happens. If anything, it's just you can delay it, right? Nigerians say destiny can be delayed, but it can't be changed, right? These are the things that will never change because they are law to you. They come into existence with you, right? It's like stopping. If you catch a mother as she's giving birth, you can't put that baby back inside, right? You can't put the baby back inside. Oh, all fall. It's because of all fall that the child comes out the way the child comes out. You can't push the baby back inside. You can't shrink the baby back into an embryo yet, anyways. Right? That kind of thing. And if you are, you ought to use other principles of all fall to make that thing happen, right? So that's how it is. That's how it is, right? There's this concept, oftentimes you'll hear me say udodi. There's this concept in Igbo cosmology of Udo. And Udo gets translated as peace often, and it does mean peace, but it doesn't. Udo is more similar to when, let's say, there's a still lake, and you drop like a brick in there, and there's a bunch of commotion in the lake, and then it settles back to its normal self. That is Udo. That normal self is Udo, right? And Udo is connected to justice. So no matter what happens, no matter what disturbance or chaos happens, things will settle back into their natural place. That is Udo. And having faith in that particular concept is extremely powerful. I would implore every single person listening to have faith in that particular concept, that no matter what happens in nature, nature will balance itself, right? And that there's nothing that exists outside of nature. I think one of the things that differs from Odinani and maybe say Abrahamic religions is the fact that like there's humans, which we're not a part of nature, and then there's nature, and that's a whole separate thing, right? There's no such a thing in ancestral thought. It's all nature. So if you see nature settling itself 99.9% of the time outside of yourself, just know that within yourself and within your own life and within your own circumstances, udodi, that settling that a lake does, is the exact same way that your life, the events of nature, the events of society, the exact same thing, right? Because all for the fact that the lake is like this, that is all for. It has the all for to be like that. It has the all for to be that. And if you, no matter what you strike it with, it will always go back to that thing. It will settle. That is its truth. All for equals truth, right? And everything's truth will always prevail. Everything's truth will always be its final destination. Everything's truth will always be its beginning. You can fight it, but it's a matter of time before it returns to its truth, right? There is no hiding of truth in existence. There's no hiding of truth in existence, right? Kind of thing. Let me see if you guys say, Udo is order. You say, yes, Udo is order. Udo is order. In some places, what we refer to as Amadioha, they call Udo. What we refer to as Ogun, they call Udo, right? So Udo is more than peace, it's order. And that order was set in place by Chineke, because these are the agreements, these are the Ofo, right? The Ofo are the building blocks for all these things. And you can ruffle things and move things XYZ way, but they'll always resettle back the way they were supposed to be, back the way they were supposed to resettle, right? That kind of thing. Nature will always prevail, absolutely. But Empress, I also want people to remember that even the events in your life are not separate from nature, right? Somebody does a wrongdoing to you. It's not for you to go and avenge or fight for the sake of nature in that thing, right? There's this and it's becoming super controversial because the Christians at home are very obnoxious and they tend to destroy things once they see that it's associated with an Igbo, right? And so there's this ilu that keeps us from fighting them, right? And the ilu is you don't fight for the gods, right? You don't fight for the spirits. You don't fight for these things. That if this thing is real, if this thing you believe in is real, you don't fight because of it, right? Because udode, it will fight for itself. It will things will rebalance the way they're supposed to balance. It either you have the patience for it, right? Or you don't, but it will happen. So however you feel between it rebalancing and the chaos period is up to you. But these things will resettle themselves, right? So you don't fight for the things you like, anything spiritual, right? Somebody says, I don't believe in XYZ, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. That's their business, right? That's their business, that kind of thing. Oh, I'm gonna burn down this woo woo woo. Oh, don't burn it down, this thing will happen. No, I'm gonna burn it down. I like Jesus. All right, fine, they go burn it down. Okay, just udodi. If that thing is what you said it was, it will balance itself. Things will be fine. Nature. So nature doesn't end at trees and birds and stuff like that. It also happens in the affairs of your own particular life, in the affairs of our wider society, in the affairs of the countries we live in the affairs of the world we live in, right? Udo goes way. All of those things are part of nature. We have this human thing where we think that the byproducts of our imagination are separate from nature. They're not. It's not. Right? It's not. It's all a part of nature. All right. So if the thing you believe in is real, we'll fight for itself. He said, awesome. So I say, God appreciates it if you fight for them. Chimoge says, God appreciates it if you fight for them. How can I fight for God? Right? That's like me. If I take a seed, an apple seed, and I believe this apple seed is going to become an apple so long as it follows its path, which is entering the earth and getting the way. What do I look like trying to pull a tree out of an apple seed? Right? What do I look like trying to pull a tree out of an apple seed? It doesn't make sense. Put it where it's supposed to be and let nature take its course. Or, you can throw a little water here and there, right? But you can't get out there. It's not up to you. That kind of thing. Right? So yeah, the ilu is that it'll happen. Just let it, just give it its time. And I forgot about it says, Scott asked, did God tell you? I don't know, God. I ain't spoke to that guy in my life. That's right, Chuga. Thank you. Lower past the ammunition. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Damn, Frederick, that is an ilu in itself. That's an ilu in itself. Another way of saying it is God sees all humans, giving us one Christian, I guess. God might punish you too. Yeah, God. If God is to punish somebody, let God punish that person, right? If you believe that God is real, let God punish that person. Ain't got nothing to do with you, right? It's none of your business, right? That kind of thing. I know my car. I know my car can go at least 60 miles an hour without me pushing it. If I have to push it, then it can't go 60 miles an hour. How about that, right? That kind of thing, you know. I know that that thing can move without me pushing it. Yeah, I'll put my foot on the pedal, but the 60, that's 60, that number. It can reach that number so long as I follow the course of its existence, right? If I follow the science of that car, I don't necessarily need to pick it up and throw it, to make it happen. If I did that, then I wouldn't be, it wouldn't be able to do that thing. If I believe that thing is what it is, I'll let that thing be what it is. What's my rule? Oh, to put my foot on the pedal? All right, bet I'll do that. That kind of thing. Right? So that is what it is, the awful. Now in the awful, there's an Igbo that says awful kansi, awful kansi. Nsi, Ikenga Nation actually gave me a good translation for Nsi because it's hard to translate. But Nsi is anything that causes transmutation, which I don't want to use too many like out there words. But a good way to translate Nsi is like the effects of magic or the effects of science, something that changes something else. Right? Most specifically used in case of medicine, science, magic, all that stuff, right? There's an ilu that says ofo ka nsi. Ofo ka nsi. So there's this thing that happens often, and I get this a lot with my channel where people are like, oh, how do I, appease the gods? How do I appease the gods? How do I make sure that my chi is happy with me? XYZ. How do I make sure I'm in alignment and all these things, right? The answer to all of that stuff is to keep to your offer. Is to keep to your offer. If your hands are clean, if you have not committed ill, right? If you have not desecrated or violated the earth or anyone else, you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. You you make yourself vulnerable to attack and harm. You lose the protection of your all when you are not in alignment with your all. So you don't have to be in alignment with your all. Just know that if you want to step outside, you're going to feel the rain. So long as you're inside of the building, you will not feel the rain. You will not feel the snow. You will not feel whatever is going on out there that you do not want to feel. If you can go ahead and go outside of your all, you will just know you'll be rained on, right? And some people are okay with that, right? Just know you'll be rained on. But within your all, you are protected from anything. So Dinani people, whenever you go to a D, ask any Dibia, if you ever get a chance to talk to a Dibia, who comes to them about juju? Who comes to you talking about, oh, I think this person did juju to me. I think I'm cursed. I think this is happening to me, XYZ. It is 9 out of 10 times it's church people, right? Odinani people don't fear, they're not afraid of those things because we know that so long as we're inside of the house, so long as we're in accord with our awful, there's nothing that can happen, right? There's nothing that can happen that isn't supposed to happen. And the thing that happens, if we're in accord with our fall, we can never change. There is supposed to happen. It is what it is. It will be what it will be, period. Right? And the thing that happens, so long as we're in accord with our fall, will happen no matter what. Right? Like when a tree starts growing out of a seed, you cannot push that thing back into the seed. Right? You can't push a child back into a mother once she begins the process of delivery. That thing is going to happen, period. All those things are all full. I'll get in there. It will do. It will happen, right? So that is what that particular thing means. It's an element most of the time people curse themselves by acting outside their awful. Exactly. And it's not even anything like a curse or all these different things. It's the least scary thing possible, right? So all you have to do is get back in the house. All you have to do is get back. If you don't, oh, the rain's hitting me, get back in the house. That's all it is, right? So a lot of people do these things themselves when they step out. One of the things I would like to see, because there's a lot of like adaptation of African spirituality, and I don't see the concept of Ofo getting picked up often, right? I don't see the concept of all getting picked up often. And it is the foundation of everything. And it is the safety. It is this is what keeps you safe in the whole thing. It is a safeguard, right? So you'll get these people that'll be on Instagram talking about, oh, I just put a spell on this person. I just put a love hex on this person. I did this and that. Right? You get a lot of that on Instagram, right? You get a lot of that on Twitter, all these different places, right? But there's a concept of all fall, and if they understood the concept of all fall, they wouldn't be doing those things. And they're gonna do those things, then all of a sudden, whatever will happen to them happen, and people will be like, "Oh, stay away from that African stuff. It's kind of well, the part if without that all fall element, it's horrifying, right? Without that all fall element, this whole everything I'm talking about is horrifying because it's you versus the elements. It's you on your own, right? And they don't know this. A lot of them don't know this. They're saying these things. Oh, I'm cursing all the, yeah. I'm cursing all the day, and then next thing you know, this person's just completely lost it, right? And if you go home and ask people, hey, what happens when you do this? Oh, yeah, within 3-6 moons, this will happen to you. And you see it pan out, right? And what keeps them safe is awful. Oh, awful. Anytime a Debia does something, he has to put his awful down, right? He has to put his awful down, right? They'll actually call it his ogu. They'll call it an ogu, like a stick. You'll have to put something down, right? That whatever I'm using this thing to do, let it happen to me too. That kind of thing. Cue the Root by D'Angelo. I haven't heard that one, but I'm sure that was hilarious. But yeah, that's what it is, right? So the Ilu was the worm uses its offal to dig, right? If you look at a worm digging, if you think of the concept of a worm digging, it's miraculous. It seems miraculous. It seems supernatural. It seems magical because it doesn't have hands. It's not strong. It's not sharp. It's not it has no mouth. All right, it has a mouth, but it has a small mouth. Let me put that right. It doesn't have legs. There's nothing about the worm that says this thing is built for digging, but there it is, digging and digging very well, and digging as a specialty, right? So our ancestors say that the worm uses its offal to dig because it is the offal that makes it dig. We can credit our gifts, our talents, our abilities to all types of different things. Oh, they were born in this place. Oh, they were born in this demographic. They're tall. They're this. They're that. If a 3 foot person has the all fall to dunk, that person will dunk immaculately, and they will win every slam dunk contest you put them. I'm doing the little Donald Trump thing. They'll win every slam dunk contest you put them in because that is their awful. And we're awful. Eji awful and there. Eji awful no aga. So when you hear somebody say Ejim awful no aga, right? I'm moving with awful and ogu. That means that I am moving with truth because awful is truth. And I am moving with righteousness and justice. And therefore, the direction I'm going, I will get there. And nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me. It's not going to happen. Right? All right, I'm open to questions now. Group or fall, family or fall, community or fall. Yeah. So every family has anything in creation has an all fall. Every single thing in creation has an all fall, right? So if a seed's all fall is connected to sprouting, that seed is never going to fly. It's not gonna just start flying. It's not going to sing. It's not going to do all these things. It's specific. It's all fall is connected to whatever it does and becomes, right? So that if I were to measure a seed's excellence on its ability to be a seed, every single seed that does what it's supposed to do, I will be impressed by. Wow, phenomenal. That's great. There's this ilu about like can't remember what it was, something similar to like if you ask a something like if you ask a lion to be a sheep, you'll be disappointed or something like that. Something similar to that, right? I don't want to say you, I don't know. But if something doesn't have the all to be something else, you'll think that there's something wrong with that thing. Or a person can be trying to be something that they're not and thinking that there's something wrong with they themselves, right? So this concept doesn't just exist in the person. It exists in the group. Every single thing in creation has an all. There are groups. A group can have an all. Generations have an all. My last video was high life, the history of high life, and it's really about the history of the baby boomer generation of Igbo people and their Ofo, their collective Ofo, their collective Chi. I'm going to be releasing part 2 very soon, but their collective Ofo and their collective Chi, right? So generations have an Ofo, families have an Ofo, nations, countries have an Ofo, right? And it is whatever agreement that thing made with creation in order to come into existence. And we make these agreements, we make these vows all the time. We're not aware of them, right? I had a conversation with somebody earlier, and she started a company out of like anger, like kind of like as a revenge, not a revenge thing, but like as a part of a spat with somebody else, right? And what I told her was that the all of that thing, the chi of that thing is connected to fighting, right? And so that in order for that thing to grow, it always has to keep that spirit of fighting. Otherwise, it's not going to grow. It's not going to be what it is. That's what gave. That's the agreement. That's what the agreement that gave birth to it, right? So if you don't want that, scrap it and start another one, right? Because that particular one is connected to that thing. But if you feed it that thing, it'll grow. If you don't feed it that thing, it won't grow. This exists for families, this exists for nations, this exists for individuals, people, like individual people. Relationships you have with somebody. Relationships, marriages, girlfriends, boyfriends, you know, that kind of thing. Does Odinani have any references to generational curses? Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. They talk about that. You know, certain families have uchu. There's a thing called uchu. Uchu is what we would call a curse, right? But it's a marker that is in your spirit that causes certain things to come to you that you don't want, right? Uchu. So it is a thing, it's a marker in your mo that causes things you don't want to come to you, right? Sometimes it's specific, sometimes it's not. It also causes people who are righteous to avoid you at the same time. That is uchu. So we would call that, I guess, generational curses. But yeah, that kind of thing. But most of it, it's not, you know, often a lot of these things sound mystical, but, you know, a lot of them, if you just look at it for what it is, it's that kind of thing. Oh, we got alcoholism in our family. We got this in our family and that in our family. And cycle of abuse. We have cycle of poverty, all those things. They can be broken. It doesn't take much to break them. Once you are aware of them, it's kind of a countdown until they're gone, right? But just know it exists there. It's there, right? So oftentimes when a person has something like this, as far as one of the ways our ancestors deal with curses or these types of things is to acknowledge they exist, right? And if it is something generational, just know that it exists and accept it, right? But then learn to master it rather than have it master you. So, okay, we have alcoholism. Alcoholism is a family member of mine. It's not going away. It's one of my uncles, right? That kind of thing. Not me specifically. We have this thing. It's going to be here forever. This is how we're going to operate, knowing that this person exists, right? If you look at a lot of like the 12-step programs, Alcoholics Anonymous, you want to talk about NC? That's one. That's the place they apply NC. And the reason I say they apply it there is because the idea is you never stop saying you're an alcoholic. You just have to know that I'm this person, I have this thing, I'm going to operate in the world aware of this particular thing, right? But it's not going away. That kind of thing. All that will do X, Y, Z, and it'll go away. I used to work at a shelter, shelter for the homeless, and there was the cook, the main cook there, told me he was telling me about how the Alcoholic Anonymous thing works because he's a recovering alcoholic, and he was explaining to me that he's always going to be, there's no such thing as he beat alcohol or he's not an alcoholic anymore and that kind of thing. He said that he's always going to be an alcoholic, but he just lives his life aware of that fact. That matches very much what our ancestors said about generational curses. But then, of course, there are ways to, that's like some of them. Some of them, you become aware of them, and there's a specific ritual you can do to break them, right? Some of them, there's a specific ritual you can do to break it. Like, oh, okay. Or somebody in your, or like your family is supposed to do something and not doing that thing. They're supposed to honor something, they're not honoring that thing. They made an agreement in the past and they violated it in the present, and so forth, right? So I don't want to say true and all these different things have like one specific way. It's a very diverse array of purpose or like reasons an individual will have this particular issue on a generational level, right? But the one I'm speaking about one specific type where you kind of just have to accept it exists. Then there's the type where you can break and end. Then there's the type associated with an agreement that is not being upheld. Then there's a type associated with an ancestor who is trying desperately to get your attention. Most people would say is angry, right? Is angry or trying desperately to get you guys' attention. Whole lot of different things. Whole lot of different things, right? But a family can have an awful. A family has an awful. And oftentimes when that family is not following that awful, it is them against the elements. They're on their own. And it's not going to last. They're going to break apart, right? They're not going to last. Every family has an awful. Every relationship has an awful. Every business has an awful. Every person has an awful. And if you are acting or living outside of that thing, you are free to do that, but it's you versus the elements, right? Not saying you can't survive them, but it's you versus the elements. Who recently addicted to coke said before he died, he said something like, I'll always be an addict. Yes, yeah. I'll always be an addict. Yeah. So okay, another interpretation of the Ilu is even weak people can do incredible things. He said that's a dope one. Can you repeat the proverb of the worm digging? Yeah, Scotty, the proverb is the worm uses its offal to dig through the earth. The worm uses its offal to dig through the earth. So power into it. Namdi, Kedu, thank you. Odugo. Odugo, go to bed. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, Odugo is one of our students with Kedu, and she's doing super well. If it's the same Odugo, but I know that we just had a busy day in class, and if you're still up, then power to you. I'm just kidding, Odugo. Thank you. Dial over there. We're waiting for a book recommendation for beginners on the path. Frederick, so book recommendation. If you're Frederick, if you're a patron, patreon.com/the medicine show, I'll post the link in just a second. If you're a patron, I have a recommended folder, and that recommended folder has like a reading list. So it starts like number 1, which is the most simple, easy to understand. You can get it, anybody can read it and understand it. And then by the time you get to like number 5, it's like, you got to be up there, right? But that I think is a good path, starting from number 1 and going, because those books were instrumental in me coming into the understanding that I'm in right now. So I make it all available on the Patreons, patreon.com/the medicine show. I posted that. I want to join Kedu as a teacher. Namdi, send me an email there at gmail.com. Namdi, thank you for that. Yeah, send me an email. We need that. Send me an email. Derek, did I get that right? Yeah. So that's my email address. That's for you, Namdi Okoli. Send me an email so that we can work that out. Yeah, because we also had like a hiring thing on the website. So let me put the website too. If you want to follow the hiring link. But yeah. So all right, guys. Looks like we're out of questions. I'm West Coast, and yes, it's me, Odugo. Okay, cool. Okay, no problem. Oh yeah, duh. Okay, you told me where it was. All right, guys. I think that's it. This has been a really cool chat. If this time works for you guys, I would definitely like to do it. We have a class at 9, so I can't do the old time. And these month and a half has been a tsunami of new things, but it's clearing up right now. So, um, as always, thank you guys very much for being a part of this community. And if you want to, go further and, join the Patreon community, it is available. Patreon.com. I think I already typed it, so let me just pin it to the top somewhere. There. All right, pinned message. All right, I pinned it to the Patreon to the top. So if you want to join the Patreon community, it's available at patreon.com/the medicine show. Patrons have access to my full library. So somebody had asked, Frederick had asked, what would I recommend for reading, right? I have a library with like over 300 documents, but go to the recommended folder so you're not overwhelmed. Go to the recommended folder and you can start from number 1. It's listed from like simplicity, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just work through there. That is available there to all patrons. Patrons also have access to the Ordinary calendar. Onwa Ajana is coming up very soon. That is the moon of the sands of the earth is what the name is. So if I really hope I can work this out in the schedule, but I think I'll discuss that, or we'll do something for that when it comes. Um, this next new moon, we'll do something. I'll post something for this next new moon. But yeah, so you get access to the calendar, and then you also have access to our group study, which is phenomenal. Like I really love doing the group study. I love being a part of it and learning and picking up from there. But it's all of us just like this. We're all together, but everybody gets to talk. It's not just me running my mouth. People get to share their different perspectives. We pick a different topic. We go very, very, very in depth. Like if you like these lives, the group study is like, it's like this is like baby talk compared to the group study. So we go very far in depth in a lot of concepts, and things like that. And then yeah, and of course the main purpose of the Patreon, which is supporting the channel and making it possible for me to continue doing this without having to go work at Wendy's or anything. Without having to go, without pulling me away from this particular thing that I'm doing. And yeah, and also if you are interested in learning the Igbo language, we have an Igbo language school at kedu.me, www.kedu.me. We use our ancestral method of understanding the language to teach the language, and it's been very, 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 very effective. One thing I noticed is that like at home in Africa, people learn languages very fast. Like, so if you take somebody and put them in a new country, within 3-4 months they know the language. And so I took a look and saw what our people were doing, and I kind of just ignored like this kind of the Western, I guess, model, whatever, right? Because I took 3 years of Spanish. I can't speak a lick of that shit, right? So I know that shit doesn't work. And so we developed a curriculum based on that, and it works very well, and it's working. And anybody who's a part of Kedu who's in the chat will probably vouch for me, and vouch for the program. So if you're interested in learning Igbo, it is a very effective way of learning Igbo language. www.kedu.me. That being said, guys, that's everything. I'm going to be releasing a video fairly soon. It has taken some time because, like I said, I had a tsunami of responsibilities these past few months, but we are getting back on track. So, as always, unogade, unogeto, nkabla no tiriaka, ogade no wa, ogade no neke, no rie, na fo, nankwo. Take care, guys. See you guys on Patreon.